This was donated to us. This all belonged to one man.
Oh, wow.
He had a 2-story garage behind his house. This was on the 2nd floor. The garage was as big as this room. That was his office over here. Where the control panel is now is where his elevator was. Very wealthy oil man. His name was Steve Sanders. He died in 2013. In 2016, his wife called wanting to donate her husband's train layout. And she says it's in the garage. We're thinking it's a board, you know, a train track. And we go over and get in an elevator and go, well, there's something different here. And we walk into this. Had no idea, we did not know them. We called the city of Frisco. They own this building. And we said, come look, they want to give this to us. We have nowhere to put it. We don't have our own museum building. We're saving money for that. And they came and they said, this is awesome. This room is available and you can use it, so go get it. So we did. We took everything off, thousands of photos. We cut it up into 37 pieces to get it out of the garage.
Wow.
We had to cut a hole in the upstairs wall. We didn't want to cut the mountains. They're styrofoam basically, and they don't glue back together. So we just sliced them and went in with a forklift and got the mountains out whole, one by one, and got everything over here. And it took us a year to put it back together. But we've been open a little over 7 years now. So this has just really been a ton of fun. It all looked just like this, guys. We put it back just like he had it. We did add the railings. That's as creative as we got. But take those away. The lights, he had day and night lights. We have daybreak every 8 minutes, and he did too. The walls here are photos of his mural. Because we couldn't bring the mural on the wall, and we couldn't afford a new mural. And so we took photos and had wallpaper made and hung this up just like he did, and matched all this up like he did with his mural. Everything was here. Everything you see, everything is back where it was. The trees, the cars, everything. He didn't build it. He had it all professionally done because we wanted it done right. Everything is a scale model of whatever it is. The trees, the cars, the buildings. He did research and provided photos of all the things that were not around at the time this was built in the 2000s. He was very involved in every bit of it, and these were his memories. He wanted to show his kids and grandkids. He'd done train layouts before. He's been a lifelong train man, but this was beyond him. So he let them do it, but he ran the show and told them exactly what he wanted. So let's go to Dallas. Right over here.
All right.
This is old Dallas. This is my old Dallas. I know all this because I moved there in 72, and this is the era, 60s and 70s.
Wow.
This is Elm Street downtown. He found all the cars, everything. That's Union Station. Everything's scratch built. Everything's built from photos. That's still there. We went to the movies at the Palace Theater. It's long gone, but it was beautiful. Duran Chevrolet, we bought 2 cars from them while they were still downtown. I actually used to get gas at that little station, that little Texaco station. I didn't know it was mine until I checked, and it's the same address, and I used to pull, it was in a little shopping center on my way to work, and I used to pull in right there, just like that white car. I just love it. Like I said, everything is a scale model. All these buildings were there. Everything on the wall's still downtown. You just can't see it anymore. Dallas got to be big. As you know, Dallas is not a you probably do know, have heard, Dallas is not a preservationist city. So
nope.
All this is, it's almost all gone. So I'm glad we have this little one here.
Right.
He was a Boy Scout, and in '59, y'all, he took that train. Used to go to Denver every day from Union Station. Went to Boy Scout camp in Colorado. So let's go to Colorado. This is from a photo he gave the builders. He said, don't make this up. This is where I went. It's near Colorado Springs. It's the site from there. And there's no camp. You can't see it, but this is the part of the Rockies where he was. We had a guy come in one day and he said, these trees, they're the right trees for this location. I know it. I go, how do you know it? He said, I'm an arborist from Colorado.
Oh, wow.
I know the trees on every square inch. He said, this is amazing. So I said, well, they're all handmade. I know that. I know the lady who made them. And she made them to Steve's instructions and photos, so he was very impressed. And we've had old loggers come in and tell me how accurate the logging camp is down there. I learned about logging one day from these two guys, so I think I could run a logging camp. This is this little small town. We think it might be Manitou Springs outside of Colorado Springs. It's a 60-year-old scene of a cute little mining town. I've searched but hadn't had any luck with identifying it for sure. I will someday though. I'm determined. This is New Mexico, and the town is Cimarron, New Mexico, and it's here because this is the location of Philmont Boy Scout Ranch. Steve wanted to become an Eagle Scout, and so he took the train from Dallas a couple of years after Colorado, got off at that Zuni station up there behind that train, and became an Eagle Scout. Big moment for him, and he had never been to the Southwest either. He fell in love with how it looks. So that's why it's here. We get lots of grown-up Boy Scouts that recognize this place. It's really pretty magical. This is Arizona. That's a copper mine outside of Bisbee, Arizona. He traded in gold and silver and metals. Had a financial interest in this thing. I don't know how much, but we kind of giggle and say enough to build this layout. But that's why it's here. It's more the Southwest. This was a real yard to service the mine. We used it as a staging area. He had 638 trains. All these trains are his, and there's a whole lot more. We run 8 locomotives. Hi, y'all. If you want to come in, come on. We'll catch up later. It's $1 million setup. We have the trains back in storage, and we change them about every 3 weeks. We're getting ready to put out our Christmas things. He had tons of those, and we'll run them the whole Christmas season. So y'all come back then and look around.
Come back.
This is West Texas over here. This is Amarillo. Hi guys. He had oil and gas interest in the Panhandle, so they stay in Amarillo, check on business, have a hamburger and a Coke at the Galaxy Drive-In. And one lady told me she used to be the assistant manager at that Paramount Theater 40 years ago, and she told a lot of funny stories that day. A lot of people who have lived at all these places, and they share their stories with me. Palo Duro Canyon, second largest canyon in the United States. You know about it, okay?
Been there.
Yeah, it's we have our little Yankee friends from the Northeast come in and go, can we run out there this afternoon? This sounds fun. I go, well, you sure go ahead and try, and then everybody laughs. So that's it's a neat thing. But of course it's gorgeous. We get ready to go down into nighttime. We have the drive-in movie theater. This was a real one. 3 miles outside of Amarillo. Torn down in '67. He found all these speakers. Oh, that's so cool. And we've got a real projector in the top. I love that. And we're playing real movies.
Wow.
And he found all the cars and all the posters. We have laughed so much at so many crazy drive-in stories from my era for sure. But did we love this? That is a ranch in Corsicana. Let me put this down a sec. That in the late 90s, their kids had grown up, moved out of their house in Dallas, and Steve and Jane decided to get out too, and they bought property on the new lake, Richland Chambers Lake in Corsicana. And they built up this ranch and started raising miniature horses. He did. Had the barn built in 2000. Half the barn was stable, the other half was empty. He said, here's where I'm going to start my memory layout. So, all of Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, up to here, right to the bridge. All of that was built in this barn over here.
Wow.
Between 2000 and 2002. That's where it all started. Wow. In 2010, 8 years later, grandkids started being born in Dallas, so they moved back to Dallas, built this big house, the big garage, cut this up, brought it with them, put it upstairs in the new train room, and spent 2 years doing this side and merging it all together. And by 2012, it was done. And I told you about the lights and the backdrop. It looked exactly like this, y'all. We promised we'd put it back just like he had it. We've added fun things and things that are more topical to some of the kids today. We've got the Ghostbusters car, and we've got Ant-Man, and you know, that kind of thing. But we've had a ball sharing this, and we're just tickled that we were the ones that they picked to show. So now we get some action. We'll have some trains running. Let's do that. It's too quiet in here. We computerized all of this about 5 years ago.
Oh, wow.
It all came, here you go. It all came manually operated. But our guys said we want a computer programming, and they did. We've got 8 of them. That's so cool. And it'll slow you down, and y'all just kind of walk and fiddle and look around, see if you can find some things. It will, when you find it, you'll get to see that much more. And there's just so much to see. I'm working on number 9. We have 8 so far, 8 Scavenger hoods. So
oh, wow.
Y'all take a look, just have fun, and I'll check on you in a minute.
Thank you. Drive-in movie theaters. Oh.
There's those and there's those. Drive-in gas station.
What are we looking for?
The dog at a gas station. You see a dog?
I don't. But there was another. I thought there was. There's little pumpkins. I don't know if you can see them. That's cool. I don't see another gas station, but I thought there was. Oh, right here. Yes. Yeah, looks like a wolf, but...
There's a lot there.
That one's going pretty fast.
Lug nuts at a gas station.
Lug nuts?
The other one.
Oh, it even stops. That's so cool.